Okay, welcome back, channel. So just going to do a quick video on Mason Graphite, my opinions. It's not financial advice, just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. And also, if you're going to add stocks in the comments below, please add why the stock's good. Like, the stock can build the mine for 100 million, then make that per year. They're close to battery factories. Give reasons why they're good, not just say, oh, this company's good. It's probably more beneficial to you and everyone else. So Mason Graphite. So do your own research, but I'm pretty sure they have about 10 million cash, and they have 50% or something in this company, so they're about 15 million shares in this Black Swan Graphene, which I don't have a clue how this company makes money, but they're worth 30 million for some reason. Yes, that's what Mason Graphite has. When they got down to here, they're worth less in the cash and the shares in this. So then the feasibility study came out, they went up a bit. Yeah, so what do I think? Well, basically, if you look at this feasibility study, if I can just get the capex, I think it's 1.4 billion. So they have to spend 1.4 billion. So the way I view it is, let's say some very rich person has all this money. They want to pay as little. So Mason Graphite has this really good project. It's got 24-year mine life, doing 500,000 tons a year. So say you're making $1,000 profit per ton. That's just rough graphite figures. If graphite goes like lithium does, it could go higher for periods of time. So let's just say they spend $1.4 billion. They do 500,000 tons per year, and they make 500 million per year. Then after tax and everything, maybe it's 250. And say graphite goes like lithium did for some reason, shoots up. They could make double that in 1 year. I'm not sure how graphite's going to go. Lithium went nuts. Like you got the lithium hard rock spodumene out of the ground for 500. You could sell it for 800 in like average times, and then it went nuts. You could sell it for 5,000. So like getting out of the ground for 500 and selling it for $5,000 a ton. So I think graphite might not go how lithium did. Might just go a bit less. We got rising interest rates, stuff like that. Who knows what's going to happen? I do view that so this is sodium ion battery, which people say solid state and all that, but I see likely batteries being lithium ion and sodium ion. So sodium ion will be cheaper given everything's abundant in sodium ion batteries. Lithium ion, the most scarce thing or rarest thing is a lithium if you're doing LFP, and nickel if you're doing the NMC with lithium ion. So yeah, sodium ion will come along. Definitely all the houses will probably just go sodium ion. Basically, you got 100. Lithium roughly is 1.5 to 2 times the energy density, so it makes way more sense for electric vehicles. Sodium ion, small range electric vehicles and household. That's my opinion. If you're going to argue in the comments, please give backing facts and data. Don't just say this battery's coming along. Because guess what? The $100 million factory to build these things takes years of planning. So if something new comes along, it's a long way off. So my opinion is lithium ion and sodium ion. Likely. Something could come out of nowhere, I'm not sure. So anyway, back to Mason Graphite. So I see it. A rich man has $10 billion, and he says, oh, I can build this project, spend 1.4 and then make $500 million a year for 20 years. Sounds good. How much do you want, Mason Graphite, for the project? And they say, oh, we want 100 million, which makes a 3x return. So that guy comes along, buys these guys at it's a 50-50 joint venture now with Thingy, so I'm not sure how it goes. But basically, I just see it as they got the project and they're going to sell it to the developer. Just like a house, you have this block of land, you don't have the money to build it, so the developer comes along, gives you a reasonable price, and then he builds it and makes the money on the top end. So my opinion, if it got down, you don't have to buy shares. Like, it goes up here, you don't have to buy shares at all. You can wait for the perfect pitch, so why not wait till it's like way down here, lessen your risk and heighten your reward as well. That's if you believe in the graphite story. So why not wait till it's like way down low, 14 cents. Like, you would double your money just going that little thingy there. 14 cents. So the guy, you bought it for 20 million, and the guy comes along, he wants to give you as little as possible because he's going to spend another $1.4 billion. So you want to buy for as little as possible as well, and to get the most return. Personally, I prefer a smaller capex project, something you don't have to raise 1.4 billion, because then you're diluting the share price a lot. Take in mind, some of these companies do get loans from the government or grants, so they don't have to dilute as much. But it seems likely they'll have to probably raise a bit of equity, dilute, someone will buy them out. Something like that is how I see it. So that's my opinion, and that's why I like to go for a smaller capex company. And you don't have to invest in shares. You can wait for the perfect share to come along that you're knowledgeable about, have a fair chance. You could invest, and you might have checked all the boxes twice over and still get it wrong. But I think over time, if you're really investigating, waiting for a good price, perfect pitch every time, you're going to do well, in my opinion. So I'll give you a really good example as a share that was good. Share that I look for, like this is just the best example. So lithium back here, getting out of the ground this is lithium hydroxide, which goes on to make lithium hydroxide. You're getting out of the ground for 500. Sometimes back here you weren't even selling it at a profit, like they couldn't even sell it. So what comes along is this company was probably drilling. Take in mind that they're near a capital city. So if you're near a capital city, existing things, you don't have to spend much money to build a mine, which means you're way ahead. These guys only have to raise $100 million, and I think at today's lithium prices, they can make $800 million a year. Take in mind, once it gets to this sum, it just trades sideways, in my opinion. It's more of a dividend stock, and if they make money and reinvest it, then they can slowly go up over time. But those 10x's are probably 10x's, I say quick 10x's, come from buying low when something's not really needed, when a company's in its infancy, and then it comes along. And so basically these guys, lithium wasn't challenged much. They were drilling. At the same time they were drilling and getting the project together, lithium price shot up. It was just a perfect pitch, really. Lithium prices went from, spodumene price went from 500 to 5,000. They probably drilled, had the best project, only had to spend 100 million. All these other lithium projects do the same amount of tons, spending about $400 million, something like that. So that's why this was such a good investment. So things about this, they were in a sector that was growing, being lithium, growing demand. They were near a capital city, didn't have to spend a lot of money to build the mine. And the other thing was you bought at a good price when no one really wanted it. But if you looked in the future and thought, yeah, I see it possible that lithium's going to take off. And this is personal note myself. I looked at these companies' figures, not this one, but other lithium companies, and the numbers didn't look good back here. And then what I realized is when something goes in shortfall, rising demand, the metal price goes up. So that was lithium, and I see that happening to graphite now. It doesn't look like graphite's going to go up in price, but maybe it will in the future when there's a shortfall. So time will tell. But basically, the reason if you bought here and sold here and did so well, rising demand in the sector, good capex near a capital city, didn't have to spend much to make a lot of money, and because you bought it so low because it was unwanted here because no one wanted lithium. So that's why I believe it went like this. It's just my opinion. So hope you liked the video. Am I buying Mason Graphite? No. When would I buy it? Probably if it went to 10 cents, it'd probably jump on it because that would be probably the cash price. Because I could see, basically I see it, someone with a lot of, it's going to be a lot of companies with a lot of money probably doing it. But basically they'll sell their project off to get it built with the 1.4 billion to raise. The risks are something comes out of nowhere, we don't need all the graphite for the battery, but that seems unlikely because lithium ion, the best on cycle life, energy density. I think even the solid state don't compete on those things. And if solid state was to come around, all the factories, everything would be primed up, streamlined, so it wouldn't even be cheaper. So sodium ion is so everything's abundant sodium ion. So the thing it's more expensive now is because they haven't built the factories and streamlined all the manufacturing processes, mining processes. So that will happen later in the decade. Streamlining, make small increments in getting it done cheaper. Take in mind, lithium will get cheaper as well. So that's why sodium ion will probably take over. Definitely for so rough figures, in the sodium ion car you might get 200 Ks, and then in the lithium nickel base you'll get like 500, and then the LFP you might get like 300. That's just rough figures there, but who knows, they might figure out something with sodium ion to get it better, and then that could upset the lithium market a bit more, although they really need to, even if it gets better straight away, it'll be a few years before they take over with price and stuff. Yeah, but let me know with some facts if you think any other battery technology will come along. They say aluminium graphene super hard to make, I believe, but who knows, could come along. Graphene uses natural graphite, so that's good for me, as I'm heavily invested in natural graphite. Scary thing to say out loud. So not sure what else I can say. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.